prachodayat om bhurbuva svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat om bhurbuva svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat om bhurbuva svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat om bhurbuva svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat om bhurbuva svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Bhurbuva Svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat om bhurbuva svaha tatsavitur varenyam bargo devasya dhimahi Dio yona prachodayat Om Namo Bhagavate Om Vasudevaya Om Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Vasudevaya Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate.
Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang this morning. Welcome also all who are joining us via broadcasting in order to share Satsang in real time with us here in Rishikesh. Big heart welcome for everybody. Welcome all of you who are just joining us, and here we are. Good. Okay.
Mooji.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Oh.
This morning, in standing in the queue, there was a strong experience. There was the surrounding and the remembrance of the aham. And for the first time, it was not going back or going to, but stay in what was already there. And you told us in all these satsangas about the simplicity of staying firm. And sitting here, there rose a fear of going home. And you ask us, stay firm. And there is this...
For instance, fear of going home is due to what? The sense coming home, meaning being in one's natural state.
Yes.
And fear, you say, arise for this, and you must look at it. For what is the credibility of that fear? What is it running from? What does freedom represent to the fearful thought or mind that it should be given a space? You look at it and see. It's a very important question because sometimes people say they've been on the road for so long and they're just trying to find it. And with a little questioning, we see that perhaps our loyalties are divided. We have a sense that I need to preserve an aspect of myself in order to be in the world, and so I cannot fully be immersed in the thing you're speaking. I think the mind has created this sense of conflict.
I think it's that sense of being divided. This full job in a big company, from out a board, children.
Yeah.
I think the most...
If you don't touch me, I, mine, no conflict is there. My children, my job. Leave job, leave children to be what they are, and take the my out of them, and it will be God's job, God's children. You see, something is taking care, but we think it is ourself. As I said before, we are not alive today by our own skill. If it was only down to us to survive according to our own skill, most would not be here. Something is taking care of you.
Yes.
And we just imagine that it is our person who is doing it. And Sri Bhagwan made a beautiful example. He said, if you have looked at some buildings, they look like you see in the pillars that are holding up the building, they have carved a figure like this. And the figure appears to be holding up the building, but there's no figure holding up the building. And this figure, apparently holding up the big building, is what is represented by ego. We think it is us who are doing all these things. Us as persons, individual autonomous beings, person. The same person who is searching for something and so on. Consciousness creates actually the mask called a person as well. That the consciousness must experience the sense of autonomy and the sense of individuality, the sense of I, me, my, mine, relating to the body. For a while it will accept the body, as itself. I am this. Therefore people say, who are you looking at? Why are you looking at me? You see, referring to their body. And the body and conditioning and so on is taken to be, that is the locus for oneself. That's what I am. When we refer to ourselves, often it's basically under I am the body, body-mind. If you go into any chai shop, any restaurant and listen to the conversations, most of it is based upon, everybody says I did this and what did you think and what did you do this, I said this and I did that. And this I, if you listen to find out, is this the I speaking as consciousness or I speaking as a person? And quickly you'll see it is mostly based upon person, based upon I am the body. So that is the, it is seemingly the universal reference for a person's self, that I am this person. Speaking from the I am the body perspective or position, and I am the conditioning that arises in this body, that is what I am. And so, and there's no blame, because we all must taste this for a time. But something is also calling more deeply to look. And for some reason, you have come in this place to go more deeply into the truth of our identity, really. Because without this, whatever you call truth, it will not last until you find yourself in the same position, synonymous with what you call truth. So all our concerns, our worries is for our body-mind sense of self. The place from which we feel deeply concerned about life and what will happen to our children if we're not here anymore, and all the things that come with a sense of personhood. And to transcend it is not to try and run away from being a mother or being a director of a company or whatever it is. It's not the job in itself, but the attachment to the job and what the job comes to mean for you. Yes. Maybe it becomes, its reading is too high. And in the beginning, for most people, our life is outside. The life is outside of this side of the eyes. It's on this side of the eyes. But as you mature into the deeper understanding, your life becomes inside. That doesn't mean that you become an introvert and afraid of life. It means you are able to move in the manifest world also comfortably, in real wisdom and harmony, but you're also aware of your inner being. Yes. And I feel this is your voice calling you now.
Yes.
Yes, and to look from here. Now don't just look only with fleshly eyes. You must look with the eye of intuition, the eye of understanding, the eye of the self. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And even Guruji, the so-called mother, sometimes it feels like it is a strong instinct. And I try to run away, to leave the children, because by reason, of course, I understand I'm not their mother, they are not my children.
In the absolute sense, no.
No, but
in the relative sense, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they hit me, especially when they are, the youngest is 22, when they are in pain, or they are in that really state of loneliness, searching what is life about. Mm-hmm. Children can hit me.
They hit you?
No, not physically, but there is this strong, I think, almost instinctively identification.
From your side or theirs?
It's mine.
From your side, yes.
Not from them.
Well, from their side too.
Yes.
They think you are. They have been given the space to be able to hit you. You see, some would never even think of it. Some would never even think to strike your mother or your father.
It's not physically
no,
hitting.
No. But in any way, to criticize them or to shout at them or something, we understand some to a certain point. But yeah.
Is it possible to even this strong instinct to let go? Is that possible?
You must understand what you're letting go of. You're letting go of the relationship, or you're letting go of the attachment?
Attachment.
Attachment, you must...
Of being mother.
It is good. Also to investigate what is a mother, actually. What is father, what is mother? Just to understand that internally, from the place of being, and to come to terms with that it is simply another role. But you understand that. You don't have to say that to your children.
No.
I'm not really your mother, okay? You know, some can take it. Some say, what do you mean by that? And, you think, you know, I am who I am in your mind, but I'm not this, okay?
Yes.
Some people are strong enough to say that.
Yesterday I was sitting during the Satsang near a young man. It could be my son. And at the end he was crying a lot, softly. And I could...
And you what?
I could comfort him.
Yes.
Like a mother.
Yes.
And it was free from attachment.
Yes.
It was just...
And you prefer that, isn't it?
I prefer it a lot.
Of course you do.
Yes, sorry.
Of course you do. What you've just demonstrated is that to be compassionate, to be loving, to be kind, you don't need the role.
No.
Isn't it?
No,
that
not
person
at all.
could be comforted by anybody here, in
Yes.
a sense. Don't need a role.
No.
Yeah, just like that. Very good. Okay. Okay, thank you. Very good. Okay. 5 minutes.
Hello, Mooji.
Hello.
I was with you in London, and it was amazing. My question is about the observer versus the self. And I think you've said in the past that the observer is the fragrance of the self. I'm not sure if I have that right, but
Okay.
something like that. And that there's a natural evolution from the observer to the self. I'm not sure if I have that right, but I'm wondering if you could clarify that a little bit.
Yes, first of all, you have to remember we are not talking about objects here that we can define and describe in such kind of mathematical measurement. It changes the way in which we speak. Sometimes I may speak and the context and references might be a bit different. I can say the observer is also the self. I say also the ego is the self also. But the ego is most the self in a very contracted or limited expression. You see? It is not the timeless self, but because it comes from, as does everything else, is an expression of, or an objectivization of the self. They're all, you can say, the self in one sense. Then we can change that, and the nature of the intuitive mind is able to understand on different levels. It's like looking at different facets of one stone, and each facet is unique, but you're always looking at one stone in different ways. So when I use that expression that the observer is not the absolute, truth. It is the earliest expression of the absolute as manifestation, the sense I am. It announces itself. I am, I exist, I am here. It is the same as the observer or the sense of presence, you can say. But the very fact that you use that sense as a sense of observer, observer is a dualistic function. It means that the observer and something to be observed.
Yes.
You follow? So
Yes.
it is a duality in its reference like that. And sometimes I speak of presence is not necessarily functioning primarily as just observing. It is also a state of isness, but one of its function is observing. But it doesn't observe like we observe or watch a movie. It's not being involved. It's not being pulled into what it's seeing. So the seeing in the beginning can be felt to be active seeing, like we're really looking and like this. But gradually that makes you tired also. If each thing you're looking at, you're looking and really looking like this. And in the beginning, when we first learned about inquiring, we want to inquire about everything. You see? Like, what's that? Who said that? Who sneezed? You see, this kind of, we call paranoid inquiring. Okay? This is something that you may have to experience in the beginning because something wants to inquire into who said that? Who heard it? And it's too much, you see? But gradually, something begins to like throw a net over the whole thing and understand that, yes, not just, item by item, but an understanding that the 5 elements, if you want to put, and their different combination or whatever they produce, is all just a play of time, you see. The understanding becomes very wide, very profound. Rather than item by item, it sees that everything that appears and appears through the senses or the mind, they are just a form of phenomenality and they're all bound in time. I'm watching time and elemental changes occurring. And then at some point, the question may naturally arise for you, what is observing all of this? Because for a while we're only looking at the thing and watching the story of it or projecting a story onto what you're seeing. But the seer, nobody's interested in. We take it for granted that the seer is me, and that me can stay behind as a kind of person. But the minute you begin to look, what is seeing all of this? And is that also your personal preferences or personality also perceivable? As soon as that dawns on you, that even my person, that my sense of who I am is also perceivable like other things arising in the field of perception, then the observing power becomes more deep and wider, less personal. You see? And
Yes.
you're experiencing this. It's not imagining. You're seeing, whoa. And now, inside the observer, is there anything personal? Then somehow you're able to experience the sense of being. And if there's any seeds of personhood, they're coming up in the light of your scanning. They're just coming up like that. And this stage, if you've reached that stage, naturally you're in a state of peace.
Yes.
And silence and a sense of not a kind of bodily sense so strongly. It's more vibration. You're experiencing vibration. Then you may also ask, is there what perceives this vibration? To the extent that if the vibration changes, that is also perceived. Where is the perceiver? And can the perceiver be perceived also? Then these are mighty questions. These are end of journey questions. Can the perceiver, who is the perceiver of life and the world and projection, imagination, time, memory, intellect, all this is reporting to one sort of presence capable of perceiving them all. This presence is it also phenomenal like the things arising in it?
No.
You see? And how did you affirm to say no?
Well, and maybe this is too mechanical, but the observer, it's easy or relatively easy to become the observer. And then I know that something is also aware of the observer, that
Gotcha.
sees the observer.
Yes.
But that is not a state that's tangible.
Okay.
It's like, I don't even, and I don't want to associate it with any feeling or sense or anything like that. But there are no words for that.
Yes. Who's speaking now? Slow down. We can slow down. What is observing this? What can speak with such confidence and such authority? A very subtle thing you've said. In that space, there's nothing tangible to express with words and so on. So that insight is occurring to who or to what? It's another form of the question, who am I?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But the person is speaking on behalf because somehow, I don't know.
Is it the person speaking?
Well, my mouth is moving, but
Mouth moving is not the person.
but that presence can't be standing here. I mean, it is here,
Yeah.
but it can't. I don't think it can speak into the microphone. Someone has the voice box in this body has to do it.
Okay. And is it someone?
No.
I would really like that we now speak, and what you're speaking is truthful to your experience. And don't be afraid to say what you see. And who are you? Who could you possibly be that is presenting these observations? You said at first it's the person, but is the person capable when the person itself is an object of perception? And the mouth is not speaking. The mouth is being used to form the words, but who is the speaker of them? I mean, you may say it's the intellect of the being or something, I don't know, but is it a person?
It's not a person.
Right.
No.
You
Something reveals itself to this body, to
the body. It doesn't reveal
or
itself
not to the body. I don't know how to put it
It's
into
good.
words.
We're doing together, looking.
Somehow it's revealed
Yes.
that I can sense that,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult to put into words.
Are you the one speaking on its behalf only? Are you it, and also the apparent one speaking on its behalf?
Yes, I think so.
Feel it out. Feel it out, you see? Maybe you have to go away a little bit and sit with that. Because there's a sense, you see. I am following your words, and you say, yes, and that is just that. It's just here. It doesn't really have a mouth in the same way as this body has a mouth, and it's silent, it's without form, and so who is looking at it? What is looking at it to describe these things? Is it something other than it? First you tried and say it's a person. I said, the person is also perceivable.
It's aware of itself somehow.
Yes. What knows that?
The self, the awareness, the knowing,
Right.
I don't know.
And who are you in all of this?
I know I am that, and I'm also this, and
Yes.
the observer, and.
But you're more comfortable to say, I am this, isn't it?
Well, you don't speak to very many people about this.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Well, I understand. someone said before, I cannot say I am this. I cannot say I am this. I cannot say I am this.
Because everyone is this.
No, not because of that. Not because of that. I cannot say I am this. Someone said, some of you must have been there, I don't know where we were. We may have been in the dining room or something. So yesterday, someone was saying, I think, I can't say I am this. Okay? So who are you who can't say I am this?
Who can or can't?
Who cannot say? And who is it who can say I am this?
I can say I am that. I know, but it's like little. It feels like a
Yes.
little insecure still, I guess. It's a sprout, like a
Speak impersonally again. And
impersonally.
Speak. Yeah, yes. Because you're holding on to the person to then you say, it sounds a bit blasphemous, really. So we are aware that from the person, we cannot say. And I am not pressing for you to say, listen, we should all say, we are the absolute. No, I'm not saying this. But I'm looking, who has such credibility to affirm, I am that? Because only that can say, I am that. Maybe the mouth of the ego will say, I am that. But something will not ring true, something will feel. Even to your own ears, even to your own being, something will feel, like that. How far can we go with such an introspection, you see? Just a voice speaking on behalf of the Absolute. We can say the consciousness is speaking on behalf of the Absolute. But is it two things? Yeah. In order for this understanding to enter into the field of the manifest, something has to say something. You see, and it's at this point, it's okay to be to lack eloquence in what you're saying. You have to feel it out.
Well, it makes itself known somehow.
Yes.
I don't know if it announces itself, but it has caused...
Making itself known is the same as announcing itself in some kind of way. Okay.
For me, it has caused me to be seeking my whole life until I heard you speaking, and then it all made sense.
Yes.
So somehow it was driving me to seek and seek and seek.
Yeah.
And now, when I heard you for the first time, that was it. I said, there's nowhere else to go.
Yes.
So it's been after me, it feels like, or somehow motivating me a very long time.
And then to catch hold of this me again, it's okay, because
Yes.
it will work like this. It will not allow any breathing room to be left to speculate. It says, who are you now? It has been driving me to pay attention to it. And you are who?
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
What is it driving to? Yeah? And to at least stop with this question and try and understand more deeply what this I that is being referred to is. All of this, although you may not come to some conceptual conclusion about something in that rigid way, but it's burning on clarity, something is settling down. Because ultimately, it's not what you say, I am this or I am not that, but what has happened here. That the apparent resident as the person has merged or has vanished. And what remains is that still speaking will happen. Still you'll say, I'm late for work, I can't stop now, I'll talk to you later and I have to go and so on. And the words will just be as automatic as the leaves falling from a tree and the cat running across the road, and these words are being spoken. And there will be a harmony to all of that. The sense of the one who is living, the earthbound sense of personhood, will give way to a deeper sense of inwardness, which is not such a concrete structure or something tangible in the way that you use the word tangibility, but still you are totally here. But as what you cannot really say, the words will not be enough to, it's almost you have transcended the field of words, the capacity of words to convey this. They can't. They can do pretty good, but they cannot convey this because this is also beyond words and concepts. If you want to say thoughts.
And that's not a problem, right? That it's an experience that can't be necessarily formed into words.
Maybe that is your answer. It is to be experienced in the silence of your being. Maybe if it could be expressed into words too well, we may just believe that the words are it.
Yes.
You see? But because within your own being you can watch the words emerging from you, speaking, seeming to make some kind of sense, and the sense of understanding and speaking and listening is happening, but nothing is happening in the space of that which really is. It's almost as though it is not participating,
Exactly.
actively
Yes, exactly.
in this conversation, and yet the conversation cannot exist without it.
Right, right. I had a very, very strange experience. It's very short, so I won't. I was taking a spin class. I don't know if you've ever heard of spin. It's like a indoor cycling. It's kind of weird, actually. But anyway, this was the first, I had just started listening to you, and I was, it's very, very difficult and aerobic, and my body was going and going and going, and I said, my ego, I could see my mind saying, I'm leaving early, this is too hard. And then I heard another voice saying, no, you're staying, you can't go, you're staying till the end. And then I was going back and forth, and I said, oh my God, what is going on? And then I could sense this other presence that was completely neutral and didn't matter. One thing did not matter at all. And I know that sounds so strange.
Not here.
But it was very clear, because my mind and my body were very caught up, and all of a sudden I could sense this presence, and then I could let go of the back and forth and the body struggling, and that was it.
When this sense of presence becomes your continuous being, effortless, meaning that there's no one being the presence, it is just what is, the ego self has burnt off. It's exhausted its mission now, and has subsided now into the state of presence. So it is your continuous state during the waking consciousness phase. It is a state of pure presence is here, you see. And your actions, reactions, interactions are perceived to be just happening spontaneously, in fact. And yet from the onlooker's perspective, you're moving in a kind of harmony. Even your presence carry a certain glow or something. But internally, inside, you don't have the sense, I am doing anything particularly. Your mouth might say, yes, we're going shopping this afternoon, yes, we're doing this, but they are just very superficial, light. Carried by presence, in fact. Very good.
Thank you so much, Mooji.
Very good, very good, very good.
I'm leaving Sunday. So.
Sunday. What's today?
Friday.
Sunday doesn't exist.
That's
Except in mind. The self does not know Sunday. It does and it doesn't. It does when it chooses to. It functions through mind. Sunday, Saturday, it doesn't know Saturday. What about today? It doesn't know today. And yet we can speak like that. And it's not just a giveaway thing, there is something in it. The presence is not concerned about future because it doesn't have a sense of responsibility about future. Now that may sound very irresponsible, okay? But it is so perfect, it's simply unfolding within itself. Like everything is unfolding. Our place, you may say, is only come to recognize and acknowledge that to our joy. Yesterday I say, commonly it has been said, we want to taste, we enjoy tasting the honey, but we don't want to be the honey. But somehow one is finding, tasting the honey of existence, and I am that honey also. It doesn't sound good when you say it too often, just you are confirming. Most things you confirm inside, it's best don't express outside with words. Your form will express somehow without an expressor. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay. You have got to want to come for is it you? Yes, get up. And if you come to the microphone, please come, because you have to resolve something rather than just to acknowledge, to be acknowledged that you're here or something. You are here. But yes.
Namaste, Mooji.
Hello, namaste.
I was very, very nervous to come and speak here,
Good.
but then I'm here. 2 weeks back, I was in Lucknow, and Ushaji asked me to say namaskar to you if I ever get to talk to you.
Thank you.
I don't have a question because whenever I see the mind constructing a question, the seeing makes it collapse. But I have a sharing on behalf of my partner, who's not here.
Okay.
I actually wrote down his words because I felt that I could come up with my own version or interpretation of what he wants to share.
Okay. So this is his own words or your interpretation?
No, this is his own words.
Okay.
Yes. May I?
Please.
Okay. I'm going on through a kind of breakdown. Strong knots of ego are burning away. It is like a burning away or rubbing away of the false idea of who I am, of idea I have of myself. Mind is very comfortable being a person. My being is on fire day and night since past 10 years now, and I feel very tired. It's a very painful process. Sometimes gets very intense, and I feel I can't take it anymore. Mind is very fearful of the unknown. I can see something emerging, and I'm slowly moving out of the body consciousness. An underlying wave of truth is coming about, but I feel there is no choice other than surrender. So anything you would like to share or your guidance?
Yes. Why is he not here? Ba-bam.
Yes.
If someone is feeling like that, and you know, oh, it's my chance.
Yes.
And you have no legs. You would come here Isn't it?
Yes, Mooji, he's been going through something since past 10 years, but he has never shared with anybody because we feel there is nothing like problem or solution.
Yeah.
It's a
This is trouble.
choiceless.
This is trouble. Because he's believing in the mind, philosophically, there's no such thing as problem or trouble, but he's troubled.
Yes, he is. Yes.
You
He's
see?
going through a lot of suffering and pain.
Yes. Don't want to admit it because sometimes we have concepts that we believe that these concepts, they are absolutes. But you have not absolutely absorbed them. But you don't want to admit because you think if you admit, then it makes you into the thing that you are functioning as. Rather than to say, actually, by admitting it, I can seek help, And this is something because I had one of my brothers, beautiful man, very, very kind, very gracious. But he developed multiple sclerosis. On top of which he was carrying his son on his shoulder one time and he slipped and landed straight, because he was holding on to the boy and landed directly on his bottom and cracked his coccyx. So on top of that, tremendous pain. And I watched my brother shrinking away from life, going until his face was almost looking like death was inside him or something. But if I used to say to him, Marvin, how are you doing? He would go, very good. How are you? How is it going? I said, no, forget about me. How are you? He said, that's good. It's good. That's good. Even his wife said, sometimes I want to hit him, He won't admit he's in pain. You see? Won't admit. It got so bad that one time my mother came and she's with him and he was in such pain. Then he said to her, I can't bear this anymore. I just want to be free of this now. I want to let go of it. But not to any of us, we are so close, wouldn't say. Don't want to say. Maybe because if you think if you say this, then you're going to become the thing you say. Sometimes this is the mind, it has so many deceitful ways. But don't blame mind. Mind is here for you. Your place is to transcend its deceitfulness. So you have to use that to develop the spiritual muscle of discernment to say, actually, that's not true. If it was true, how comes exercise against it. How you can be in pain and suffering and for 10 years, your house is burning. Which house takes 10 years to burn down? Which even palace doesn't take maybe 3 days before to finish. You have to be able to be wise enough to seek help and then go beyond the need of help. That's why you say, you read his words, I say, is it his words or you're interpreting? No, his words. It sounds very beautiful. Why he's not here? If really you want to come out of it, why are you not here? Tell him to come. You come only from Lucknow, then maybe it would be luck now. Not bad luck now, but real luck now. Come and at least have a go. Say, I'm really here, I came.
Yes.
Is there anything I can do? And like this.
Mooji, there's something very strange. I always see him trying to escape help. And he always believed that
Pride.
surrender is the way.
Yeah. Yes. And surrender to the invisible. Surrender to the invisible. Because to actually be confronted with a living one who can speak with you, something, maybe I might say something you don't like. But if you feel I can speak to Ramana because he's not around, he can't answer. You see? Sometimes you're doing this even. Ramana better guru because what? He won't tell you off. Like this. Because the mind takes that shape. Mind take that shape. It would be very good if he could come. I would really welcome him. So I don't like to see someone in pain when the remedy can be found.
Yeah, he usually says there's, like, I don't understand, and maybe there's no remedy for it. I have to go through it, like, at the end of the tunnel there is light, something like that.
He is
And
choosing that path. He is choosing that. He doesn't know, but his mind, you see, is choosing that. He's given a lot of space for his mind. He's provided a lot of compost for his mind to grow in.
Yes,
You understand?
I know.
With a beautiful face called spirituality, but it's growing on poo. He has to come and he has to look at it as though, yes, I really want to be free of this. I want to be free of this.
Can I say something else?
Yes.
I was thinking not to share because it might sound rude,
Yeah.
or it might be coming from my own personal judgment. But like when he was very young, like 14 years old, he was interested in spirituality, and he went through a very bad experience. So his mother introduced him to an Indian guru, like I too met him. Sorry, I don't want to be judgmental, but
Okay, good.
when I met him, he was very angry and he was only talking about soaps and new products that he's coming up with.
Who, the guru? Or the
Yes, the guru. The guru.
Oh.
And he.
Soapy guru.
Yes, like his. His mother at a very young age actually introduced him to that guru.
Yeah.
And he's a very popular guru who comes from television. And so he shared this with him. And the guru told him that at the end of the tunnel there is light and you have to go through suffering. This is meant for you. And he has like so much belief and surrender that I think he never questioned. And like there is no words also exchanged, but he has such strong faith, unmovable faith, that he just says that the guru knows. And that's how it's going on. But definitely his physical body is also now being affected. Like he got diabetes and a few things, like he's getting affected, I can see that. But something in him is very
He must be getting
stubborn.
something out of it. He must be getting something out of it. You must be getting something out of it. Whether it is a kind of fantasy gift or he must be getting something. Maybe you don't know. Maybe he's getting some deep sense of pleasure or something, or maybe. Or why else would you keep it up? Unless really you got a very, very stubborn mind or something, and you're not able to see beyond this narrow idea you have, you see. Or if he has implicit faith in his guru, that will also be something good,
Yes.
even if guru is wrong. He himself will benefit from having implicit faith to some extent, no?
But I thought of sharing it with you because he has a lot of love for you. So this is.
And I accept, and you have a lot of love for him. This is why we can speak like that. And I also have a lot of love for him also. And enough to say, come up, come, no? Come. And okay, maybe nothing happened, but at least you gave it a shot, Yeah, very good. Thank you for that. Someone, is it? Yes? Okay.
This is my time, like right now.
Yes.
Everything. This lady reading her letter from the husband. And then your story about your brother. This body has MS also. And I experience great pain much of the time. Some of the time, And also I feel great bliss and delight and joy. And it's so intense in this body.
Yes.
And for the last days, including yesterday after lunch, I was sitting in excruciating pain, thinking, just watch, just watch, just watch. Go to a place where the pain doesn't matter, but it destabilizes and it immobilizes me. Right now, I don't feel it, but when it happens, I feel like I just want to drop this body. And I also was sitting this morning feeling there's great love here.
Yes.
Great love.
Yes.
Great love for you, for everybody.
Yes.
For everybody.
Yes.
And after the satsang yesterday, I was in the rickshaw going home, and I was sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. And the Indian woman next to me just put her arms around me and held me. And I thought, I'm being held no matter what, no matter where I am, I'm being held. And I felt like I just had to come and say this.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm so grateful to you, Guruji. I'm so grateful to everybody that's here, that's brought this together so I could be here. This was the only thing that I wanted to do, to
Yes.
be here.
Yes. Yes. All the pains, all the hard times, the difficulties, the challenges, the problems in life helps you to mature and to become deeply grateful for the opportunity of experiencing. And they drive you to your center. And compel you to acknowledge what is here. Because the body will have its challenges. Mind will have its challenges. But there's something beyond them which is very much here, which is the core of your very existence itself. It is who we are completely. Yeah. That must be recognized. And very often it's only through the gate of pain that we dare to look. Because as I said earlier, for a while our lives are entirely focused on the earth mind and earth body. All your life is on this side of your eyes. All your aspirations is on ephemeral nature, on things which are perishable, impermanent, transient. But as you are somehow faced with what the mind is pushing you for comfort and security. Why? Because you feel insecure by identifying only with the body which is so vulnerable to pain and to eventual, it is perishable. And because of that, so much energy is put to try and preserve it and to make sure it is happy and well. But in some cases, your pain drives you to another place, to look beyond our bodily existence, and to look into the very core of our being. And we have the potential, we have the capacity just to be guided and to begin to experience. And what a joy, in fact, because it is not a joy arising out of fantasy. It is not a joy arising out of imagination. It is a joy that arises out of that true recognition, which is not merely intellectual or mental, but it's somehow, you are there in the very moment you are discovering, but I am not what my mind has presented, what conditioning has, established in this body as my true position. That also is only imagined, that also is only, and you are confirming this for yourself. So these pains and these, as I said, sickness is often a blessing unrecognized. Physical sickness, even mental sickness, carries so much spiritual vitamins. They are cleansing, they are purging the body of many psychic toxins, you see. But our whole attitude has been somehow misunderstood. It helps to bring you back to yourself. Because when you're in deep pain, or when you absolutely have no money, you can't project all these pretty fantasies. You must pay attention to what really is here. You have to find an inner wealth. And life is so often expressing itself through paradoxes. Just in the same way, there is a wealth in poverty, and there is a poverty in wealth also. There's a health in sickness, and there's a sickness in health. And you are finding sometime living on both sides of the fence, learning from both ways in a holistic way. You don't have to arrange it. Let God be your secretary. He will arrange everything. All the experiences that you need, they come to you, even when you're not conscious of the meaning in them, the opportunity in them. So these things, they will come like that until you are more deeply internalized in your attention. Does not mean that your dynamic life suffers necessarily. It might be enriched by your spiritual evolution or recognition of yourself. So, thank you for coming up.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
You? For this one? There's a microphone there.
So, I first ran into you on YouTube about 5 years ago, and the first time you were just laughing and laughing and laughing, and I thought that was your whole teaching, and it struck a deep chord in me. And since then, most every night I've been listening to you through headphones all night long, and I'm finally here. I arrived yesterday.
Welcome, welcome.
And my deepest longing, the whole plane ride here and all yesterday, has been to come up and just look into your eyes and just be with you through your eyes. And I wonder if that's okay with you. Is it okay? Just wanted to die.
Yeah. You can look at my eyes, or you can look through my eyes. and you can look at your looking. What is your name? Peter. Yeah, Peter.
I think.
Yeah. I'm very happy to see you. Welcome.
Is it okay to hang here or should I go back here?
Sit until the next question I finish. After the next question, you can stay here. And,
Namaste, Mooji.
namaste.
About a month ago, I lost someone very close to me.
Sorry, about a month ago, you know someone who?
I lost someone
You
who's
lost
very
someone.
close. Yeah.
Someone, that's all.
And yesterday was his birthday. So morning I woke up, I wished happy birthday, and then I broke down crying. I was crying, and then I caught myself crying and got present to the moment. And I was saying, this is not happening right now. This sadness is not happening at this moment. And then I was blank.
And then became blank.
Blank.
Okay.
Then I was blank and there was no emotion, there was no feeling at that moment. So my question is, if are all feelings like love, sadness, joy, happiness, are all of them part of the earthbound mind, or do they not belong to the present moment? Are they not part of the being?
It is a good question, no? All this that happened, because I wanted to ask you, see, that you said, let's start from the beginning. You lost a friend not long ago. And then yesterday was his birthday. And then yesterday, sadness came up. You know? And a lot of crying is happening. A lot of crying is happening. And then somehow you observed yourself crying. And then suddenly there was a sort of peace there. An emptiness.
No peace.
No peace. Okay, no peace. Just emptiness was there. And there was no love, none of these things were there.
Nothing.
Just emptiness.
Yes.
Now the question comes, is all these things like love or sadness or joy and all of this, are these just the fragrances of the earthbound mind? And they have nothing, there's no reality to them in absolute consciousness. I would say, let all these expressions happen. Simply, you don't identify so strongly with them. It is beautiful. Your friend has passed away, some grief comes and can be expressed. If at the same time, it can be expressed in the space of yourself, which is itself not in grief, but so infinite is the self, no? That every movement, every emotion can have a space to express itself, to exhaust its expression, and to again return to silence without the sense of any disruption to your being. This is the natural way. This is a natural way. In fact, it is called, actually, you may call that state sahaja samadhi. It means that you are not in a state where you're blocked off from the world and feeling nothing, you're in a sort of vacuum or a void or something, but that the senses are functioning, the mind may be used, but inside, total serenity. Total serenity. You see? So that is more natural than to be in a state, because sometimes I've met people who have accepted this feeling that there's no emotion. Any emotion is only to do with the person, any feeling only to do with the person, and they're in this kind of state where they're kind of like blank. It's kind of blank state. And even I saw one man at my place, he came, and at the end we were having a hug, and he was in the kitchen. And I've met a few of them now like this. We got a hug, and I said, "You look constipated, actually." I thought, "Are you well?" I mean, because he doesn't want to feel anything. How can that be natural? You're trying to not feel. Well, it means that you do feel something, but you're in denial of it. So let it be there. Let everything be there. The ocean is not less ocean when the waves are flowing. Let everything be there. Let everything play. But simply you stay as that oceanic presence, and let the waves of life, they go about. Then they will not trouble you. On the contrary, if you try to lock off your emotions, and because we can do things like that. Sometimes people have fallen in love with someone, and then, the person rejects them, and it's so painful. Then they say, "I will never love again. I'm never going to love anybody again." And for sure, they don't. They don't. They have a way, we have a way, we can lock off, nothing. Somebody comes, very nice, "How are you?" "I'm fine." "It's a beautiful dress you're wearing." What kind of life? So they're not open, you see? And all I say, experience all these things, but don't make anniversaries out of your pain. Let everything come, everything flow, it's okay. What's wrong? You are, as consciousness, you can experience sadness, you can experience joy. You're not running after these emotions. You're not looking out to find them. You're not picking and choosing. You're like an open space through which and in which every emotion can come. You see? Then you are very free. Light, open, you see? And nothing can capture you. You see? Infinitely flexible, not rigid. So like this, you experience something. I remember a story that one time some nuns, 2 nuns, were going about trying to put down this idea that this self-realization is not true, it's not good. Because they said they had meditated, they come to this self-denial, I'm not this, I am not that, I'm not this, I'm not that. You see? And they came to an experience where they felt there was no pain, there was no joy, there's no light, no darkness, there's no you, no me, there's no happiness, no sorrow, nothing at all. And they said, we did it, and it was horrible. It was horrible. There was no life. People, don't do that, don't do this, it's making mistake, don't go with these people who do this. So somebody came and on their behalf asking, is this a good thing or not? And I said, they got the mind's version. The mind formed itself in a version of self-realization because it's told that it is not these things. It is not pain, it's not joy, it's not this, it's not that. So it created a sense in which there are not those things. And then the void that ensues, the void that was felt at the end of that, because it's, they felt that was the goal of it, to feel nothing. I don't want to feel anything. I don't want to feel love or hate because it's part of duality. It's part of duality, and whatever is duality, I'm not interested in. Not realizing that they themselves are part of duality. You see? And so you live a very monochromatic life. Yeah? In the most beautiful array of colors. You're just black and white. And the colors don't hurt you. The colors are God's joy, Didn't make black and white flowers. Every color is there, but I don't want to control it because that's duality. You see? So I speak about this to beware of that, because some people feel that you have to be miserable and very serious to be spiritual. And they go about looking like that. You talk to them when they meditate, like they can't smile, You smile. They don't run. What is this? So I don't say they should stop it, do it. They must enjoy something. But to people come here, I said, don't waste time with that. Enjoy, let everything come. But you stay as you are. You stay as you are. Let every visitor come. Anyone can walk through your kingdom, but no sleepovers. You can come, everything is a tourist. Everything is a tourist. You see? And you'll find that your life, in its dynamic expression, can be quite joyful, free, spontaneous. And it is not a burden. It doesn't create, oh no, I'm enjoying ice cream again. Because I was doing so well with my non-duality, but the ice cream... Don't try to be too good, and don't try to be bad. Just be yourself. Being yourself means to keep looking from the place, not of personhood, but from seeing that all these things, right and wrong, left and right, up and down, you and me, this and that, heaven and hell, God, demons, everything. All of that is in the realm of duality. It is part of the manifest expression, the dance of creation, the play of life. And we will experience it, both the joys and sorrows of it. But at some point, something wants to sit back, to rest again in the beauty and the simplicity of being. And it's not either or. From the space of being, I don't feel anyone enjoys as much as a sage. Because they are detached. You can enjoy. Enjoyment comes. They don't go out looking for enjoyment. They're not addicted to enjoyment. If it come, it come. In fact, they turn things which are considered to be not enjoyable, they enjoy, in fact. So don't force these ideas that somehow I should feel nothing, because then there's no sadness, but also there's no happiness. There's no hatred, but then there's no love. Why limit oneself so much when it is not called for? except that maybe for a while you experience it only to then reject it and say, actually that's not it. Sometimes we have to try something to say, not this also. It is not that. But it would be too much to spend an whole life before you realize, no, it's not that.
So is love also a visitor then?
Is love also
A visitor,
a visitor?
yes.
When love has many shades, mostly we know only the immature aspects of love. Love for an objective expression, I love you. But love in its highest sense is the unity of being, the oneness of being. From that sprouts love in all its different shades. The love that you may have for your parents, the love parents have for their child, a love you have for your work, a love you have for God, a love you have for truth. You see? And so it's meant to have many shades, but when you realize that love really is synonymous with truth also, it goes that far. It is the unity of being, or the unicity of being. Then you find, yes, that love, that maturity of love, you see, that also you have discovered, then, yes. Because, it's funny, because one time someone said to Papaji, is there anything greater than awareness, he was saying. Is there anything greater than awareness? And Papaji said, yes. But what? He said, love. He said, oh. But you need awareness to know love. Then he said, love gives awareness to awareness. Bit poetic, but we could go there. Okay, that's good, Love in that sense is not different from awareness, he's saying. But how then we can somehow evaluate that? Because we say love, sometimes love hurts. People say how love hurts and love causes a lot of trouble and so on. In the immature expression of love based upon the egoic sense of love, which I love you if you love me back, or I love you if you be good. The love which comes with if. This love says unripe love or something. But all this we have to experience. Love is a part of the oxygen of this world also. Everybody, I see the animals, the insects express love also. It's part of the joy of life. Truth without love is very dry, it can feel very dry thing. They are one. Just like the flower and the fragrance are one. But I put nothing really above awareness.
Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That.
Dearest Guruji, I've come halfway around the world for freedom now. My heart is just bursting for the love of God, and I can't hold it in anymore. I'm here for this.
Yes.
You have been in my dreams along with Jesus since August, and you have pointed so poignantly to what I need to do for this. And I am here now at your feet. I give you my arrogance. I give you my pride. I give you my ignorance. I'm here. I say yes all the way.
Can you give me your you?
Yes, you can have that too. I am at your feet.
Then do it then, and then remain as what remains. We do now.
We do it
Because
now.
I really, when someone say like this, I have no more, I have no aspiration even for the next moment. All is here, only for this, only for this. So something has called you so intensely, and your response has been so yes to it, then what can deny this, the consummation of this? What can deny the fullness, the full realization of this? I want to know if there's anything can stand in the way.
Nothing.
You see? So even your sense of you may be the one irritant. Maybe any idea that we may have that this is how it should be, or this is what it is. So then for one moment, for a few moments, leave everything aside, everything now. You came, the desire came, the desire to come here brought you halfway around the world to come here. The desire brought you here, you see? You've taken all the steps right up because you want to go to the top floor. Now you go to, there's 50 steps, you did your 49th step, then you take your last step. So where is the next step after the 50th step?
I'm only with you.
Yeah.
Only with you.
Then drop me and drop you.
It is done.
Drop your desire even. I want awakening. I want this. I want union. Yes. All these have taken you. They were the 28th, the 29th, the 37th, the 38th, the 47th, the 48th, the 49th. Now the 50th step is taken you here. No more steps to give you now. Then also, now drop the concept of the 50th step. Drop the concept of a goal, a destination. Drop also this. Drop the sense of you and me. And waiting. Drop waiting also. Don't accept one letter from the alphabet of the mind. Don't take anything mind says, it doesn't matter, mind, forget. That's done, finished. Every step was a concept. So no more concept. You're here. Not now what. You're here. Mind wants to say, okay, I've done that. Okay, what's next? There's no next. Next is mind. Next is past, actually. You are here. You are here. You and here, same thing. Drop you, drop me. Keep quiet. But don't wait. Not waiting. Waiting is for mind. When you can bear and be your own silence, your own emptiness, you are free. The senses will continue functioning. This body will move. Food will be eaten. Emails will be sent. Whatever will happen. But you are not happening. You are the stillness from which all things are emerging. You will see. You say, I've come halfway around the world to be here. Your body has come halfway around the world to find I'm always here. Here is not merely a geographical location. Here means I am.
I am.
I am was your earliest utterances, could also be your last also. Am means to be even. I am. Drop am. Drop I. Something is here that cannot be dropped, cannot be left aside, cannot be born, cannot die, cannot come, cannot go. Yes.
May I come up?
Yes. And mind will kick in and says, no, no, no. Doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with your mind. You have to realize this. It's got nothing to do with the opinion that comes from the mind.
My beloved.
Thank you. It is this that plays as the beloved and the lover. It is it that plays as a sense you and I and other. It plays only like that. But now it must recognize its total oneness, beyond the concept of oneness even. And this seeing, once it has happened, you cannot unsee. For a while, the egoic mind seemed to have done its best to stop this seeing from happening. It will show you everything. It says, look at this. What about this? What about this? What about this? But not this. To come to see this, you must leave everything alone for a moment. You cannot see this with fleshly eyes. You're seeing what is non-phenomenal. How can what is non-phenomenal be seen? How can what is formless be seen? Nobody knows. Many poets have spoken, they say, we can smell the perfume, we can smell the fragrance, but the flower no one could find, no one could see. And yet this flower is no distance from you. You are the flower no one can see. The rest is only your perfume. Your true heart is the light of this world. Don't let your mind conceal it. Okay. Come, you can come. Yes, come. Come.
My wife has prepared for you this one.
Ah,
My
yes, yes.
wife has
Yes.
prepared it
Yes,
for
okay.
you.
Good, good, good. Oh, very beautiful. Om Arunachala Om. Om Namah Shivaya Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Papaji Ki Jai. Om. Om Buddha. Whoa. Buddha Ji Ki Jai. Om Sri Ram. Sri Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Thank you.
I want to sit silently with you.
You want to sit silently with me? You sit like that.
Hello.
Hello.
I have two short questions. First, how to be aware?
I'll tell you. Try to be not aware.
I think most of the time I'm not aware.
To even know that must require some amount of awareness. If you mean that most of the time my mind is in a distracted state, this I understand. Most of the time the mind is in a distracted state, meaning that it is focusing only on ephemeral things, and in a sense being so absorbed in them that you have the sense you're not aware of yourself. But that will change if the urge in you, if you begin to recognize this is not a good thing, to be so absorbed in otherness that my own intuitive self-awareness seems to be hidden. Then your attention, when you're looking at, you'll know I am also looking from. You follow? While you're looking at, then know you're also looking from. Because you are here first, you can see what is next. Everything is appearing to your own consciousness. Otherwise, you would not know anything about them. You must be the first formed. Because everything you see comes after you. Even if something happens in a billionth of a second, you perceiving it mean you are already here. If you contemplate on this a little bit, you find great joy in this, that the very fact that you are alive, because sometimes people say, I'm searching for the I am. I said, who is searching for the I am? He says, I am. Is there two I ams? Okay. It is just wrongly mistaken to be something else. We think that the I am is some mystical thing. I'm looking for this mystical I am. I am the unmystical I am, and I'm looking for the mystical I am. But you are to know that when you say I, or feel the intuition or the sense I, that is the I am. It is falsely given over to the egoic identity, but that is not its constitutional state. I am is you in your manifest form.
And how to keep the moments of awareness?
There are no moments of awareness, because awareness is timeless. It's the only thing that does not depend on time. Rather, time depends on awareness. Because without awareness, time cannot be perceived or even conceived. The awareness is there first. How to keep moments of awareness? Drop these ideas. Drop these ideas, and you are naturally aware. You're just naturally aware. Where the trouble comes is that we are mostly aware of something. Aware of some object, some person, an ideology, a philosophy, a belief. I'm aware of that. But when awareness is aware of awareness, you see, then a great joy comes. When awareness is aware of awareness, then there's a great joy, and it becomes timeless. It sees that in awareness being awareness, there's no doer of it. There's awareness, but there's no one being aware. There's only awareness, it's fact. The idea that I am aware of awareness, I am as though I am separate from awareness, So therefore, if you're other than awareness, it's going to take tremendous exercise and discipline to be the one who is aware all the time of awareness, a practice you cannot keep up. But when you realize that I and awareness are one, when you realize this, not just think it, then all efforts will fall away. When you feel the sense I, intuitively, immediately, you'll know it is the awareness itself. It is so much the awareness that you don't even have to have the sense that you know it. Just like if your name is John, you're not walking around thinking, I'm John, I'm John, I'm John, I'm John, I'm John. If somebody calls you Jeffrey, you will not respond. If somebody goes, John, yes? And yet you're not actively remembering your name. It is just there. It's the same with awareness. It doesn't take something different from awareness to know awareness. If you know awareness, it's by awareness that you're knowing awareness. All these words might make it seem very complex, but in fact, it's the most natural thing. We were conditioned, naively programmed into ignorance, whereby we're thinking that we need some technique to know who we are. And so, because we believe this, we must find a contrary belief in order to nullify the false belief. We say that if you step on a thorn and it breaks in your foot, this thorn in your foot is giving a lot of trouble. But you may use another thorn to take the first thorn out. And when you take the first thorn out, you throw both thorns away. We need knowledge somehow of the self to come to recognition of the self. But once a recognition of the self happens, the knowledge is not needed. Techniques are not needed. Practices are not needed. They're not needed any more than practice is needed to remember your name, which you were not born with a name. If I were to say one more step and say you are not born at all, but it would cause trouble. Later we'll talk about it. Thank you. But you said you had a second question, no?
No, this was the second question.
This was second question. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Take another. Is that a very... Yes, come then, madam.
Namaste, Shri
Namaste.
Mooji. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you.
Next to you. And quite often in my life I feel like what I do, what I say, what I express, it's like a fake.
It's like fake.
Yes, and someone sees it. And also, like when I started my spiritual journey, maybe 10 years ago, I believed that to reach the self, I have to reach perfection, to be good. And still after those years, I see a lot of anger, greed, and a lot of negativity in me.
Yes, yes.
But this is my first live encounter with you. Yesterday was the first, but I had been your YouTube student for a few years, and I heard very clearly your message that the truth is truth for everyone and every moment.
Yes.
It means that this truth is truth for me now. Yeah. I'm not perfect at all, but I'm the truth.
Yes.
And this journey to see you, it's really grace, because it seemed to me that I had no chance because I have two small children, and I'm pregnant with third one, and God knows when I can see you again, and I know that this is my chance. I'm not perfect, but
Nothing can stop you from realizing the truth.
please help me.
Nothing can stop you from realizing the truth. In the same way, if you want to be happy, nothing can stop you from being happy. In the same way, if you want to be free, nothing can stop you from being free. We must begin to look at where the unfree notions come from. And I know it is not, I don't want to say, it's nothing. There are sometimes I may refer like this. But the things in themselves is nothing, but the trouble comes from the meaning we give them, the intensity of the meaning that we give to those things. That is what's causing the trouble. You say at some point you came to realize that everything you think or say is false. This is a certain stage, a certain phase or stage that many beings who won themselves back, many who came to complete realization, they experienced this kind of stage where everything became suspect, like everything I say seems not quite complete, it's not quite true. Whether it's just a thought or speech, it's like it's not true. And that realization is doing its own thing also. It's burning faith in the spoken word that comes only from the ego mind or from the person. You see? So don't be too depressed about it. In fact, there are encouraging signs of coming from that. Then you say something that also, it seems like it's, how will I manage? I have 2 children, now I'm pregnant with a third one. Life may be even more demanding on my time. Then, am I losing my chance? No, you're not losing chance. You're not losing chance. It is your urge that brings you home, not just your circumstances. Sometimes your circumstances help you. People often do better when they have little or no time than when they have a lot of time. When we have a lot of time, we waste it. When we have little time, you value your opportunity. And it's the intense appreciation of what the opportunity means that then clears the way for grace to really open its light in your heart. You see? So as we are standing now here like this, and you say these things about, yes, these thoughts and everything seems to be false and so on, you need only be depressed about that if you want to continue in the state of personhood.
No, I don't want.
Yes, so then you don't have to worry. The thing is naturally going this way, where now you will start to lose faith in the spoken word and the thought from which they come when they are expressed with personal identity. They are not reliable. Many people are coming to satsang and they are not, their ways are not stable. They're not reliable. They say one thing, they do something else. Or they really believe and they try to make people believe, but it still doesn't happen that way. We're trying so much to control and to steer the manifest world, but we cannot do it. And when it appears that we have really started to do it, it costs you so much to live in such a tight way. Yet in the mind of man, he feels that he is advancing, but he's moving further away from his own joy, his own center. So your experiencing of this is just a signpost that you're on the right track in this feeling. And now what you want to say today, if you could crystallize what you want to say today, now, can I hear?
I want to go all the way. today and now. Like,
You want to go
and
all the way, all the
I
way.
know that I cannot do this without your help, but I
Yes.
know that you can. I really have tremendous faith in you.
Yeah.
And I just want to put myself to your feet and
Who told you you are separated? God or the mind?
the mind.
Who told us, you see? Did God tell you, listen, you are distant from me? Did truth come and say, you are the untruth? Or did we develop this thinking through our society and associations and so on? Yeah? Because actually, if you are separate from, it can only mean that you feel separated, not that you are separated. You see, you feel separation, and this feeling of separation develops a longing in you to end that sense of separation and to be again in your unity, in your oneness with truth. You see?
Yes.
So you can never really be separated, but you may have the sense of separation. And that sense of separation is playing in the life of all beings. As you become more mature, you see the separation becomes unbearable. You see? And it really drives you to a discovery of your unity, the unity of being. So just like this, I want that, and you say, I want this now also. I want it now. While you feel I want it now, this feeling I want it now feels good. I want it now. But the very fact that you say I want it now also imply you are not this. See, it's a funny thing, no? I want this now means that I have not got it. I am not yet it. I want it now. So the voice is believed and the identity is believed. I, which is who, want it, which is the realization of who I am. I want that now. You cannot have the self. You are the self. So what you have to find is the recognition that confirms I am that. I want the self. I want the self. I want it now. Though it sounds urgent, and we will say, oh, you know, Mooji, she wants it so badly. Let her have it, man. This plea, this urge, this desire itself maintains separation, if you follow. Because it is at the same time I want it, it is affirming I am not it. And if you believe I am not it, you're going to have the strength of contrary belief, I am it. But it is not merely belief that I am it or that I disbelieve that I am not it. So for a moment, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to dilute this statement you have made. I want it, so you can take a look. If this voice did not arise in you, or if it arises in you and you don't identify with this voice, I want it. Don't identify with this I who want it. Because I want it means I am without it. I want it. Just hear the words and the feeling. I want it, but don't feel it with identity. Just say, I want it. Who wants it? Who wants it? You are so convinced that you are this I that says, I want it. If you don't touch this I who want it, and yet it was important for a while, the urge that I want it brought you here. Now, I don't want it anymore. I want to be it, isn't it? I want it must go. I want it, Mooji, I want it, and I want it now. Who is speaking, you know? Is it the true self that is speaking? Is the true self saying, I want it?
No.
Is it the body that's saying, I want it? No, not the body. Is it the mind by itself is saying, I want it. No, this mind, if it says I want it, it must be combined with you, who must be the consciousness that can manifest as person. And this consciousness, which has created a self-portrait of itself as a person, but this person is only a construct of mind and consciousness that has suffered its own projections for a while, and I don't want any more of this projection. What I want is I want to be myself. You must understand what this is. The limited idea of who you are is saying, I want to be who I truly am. But this voice, its meaning and its identity are perceived in you. Can you admit this or not? Yes. This is the quintessential pointing. You may say, but I see it, but I don't feel anything. This is often what people say. I see what you're saying, but I don't feel any passion. There's no depth in it. Okay? It doesn't have to feel like a depth. First, just allow it to express or to have a space to just be considered. You see? So this voice, I want it. And it's very difficult to let go of this voice. It feels it's so true. This voice is coming from my belly. I want it, Mooji. I want it. I give it to you. Here it is. Oh, thank you. After a while, you're going to say, no, but it's not it. Because this one who say, I want it, has never been content with anything. The one who say, I want it, please, Mooji, I want it now, please give it to me. It has never been content with anything. And it has had many ideas about things it wanted, and it has received them. Many times we are living in answered prayers, but you're not saying thank you for them anymore. Because after a while you say, okay, I don't want that anymore. Okay? The one who is asking, please, I want to be home. I want the truth of myself. This one cannot keep anything. It is not reliable, and he's also in time. He's never been able to enjoy anything unbrokenly. But it's hoping that, but when I find a self, then I'll be changed, and it will be a different kind of appreciation. It won't be from the old mind. That is good, we can say. Still, what I'm pointing you to is already more direct, because I'm pointing you to what is already in you, as you. I don't want to put it one step away from you, because even to make that one step, you may experience you stumble, and you didn't even make one step. If I say, you are already that caused itself to appear as the manifest consciousness and even as the person, because it wanted to taste the experiencing of duality and of form and change and name and time. And it had to mature into presence, whereby it comes to see that it is the witness and not merely the thing witnessed first. The first great step. And thereafter to come even to the point where even the state of presence itself is observed to be phenomenal. Not cynically, just that it is observed like that. For some of you, maybe it's not the time to see that far, maybe. I'm talking about far, and yet it is not distanceless. I mean far only in terms of subtlety. Maybe the mind is not yet able to comprehend the subtlety, and yet you are this, you see. Being this We imagine we have been on a journey to find this. But the journeyer is your imagined self. This is hard for us to comprehend because we are doubting Thomases actually. We say, look, unless I can see it with my eyes and feel it with my body, if it's not tangible, it's not real. You see? But I am putting something to you now. This passion that has arisen inside your heart and says, I want this today. I want this today. But maybe another time I'd come to you and I say, darling, you want it today? And he says, no, Mooji, I'm sorry, not now. I'm going to see the doctor. Can we do later? The same one will perhaps not feel the intensity of this passion or this desire continuously. You might feel it now, Mooji, no. And then afterwards you see down the road in the marketplace laughing, ha, 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 ha. Yes, look at her, yes, look at the shoes she's wearing. The same one is not consistent. So I'm asking you now to take a look and to see that that is also an intense moment, maybe arising out of one's emotional state, a state of inspiration for a moment, but it belongs to time and is subject to change. This one who says, I want it now. Maybe by the end of my talking, the passion has cooled off. That is how fickle their identity is. But that in whose presence even such utterances are made and are perceived, that is not moved. That is yourself. That is yourself. The desire, the urge throughout your life to find the truth, the sense, the intuition you've had that I'm not this. This is not really it. As developed as an urge inside you that could not make you accept anything permanently because there's this urge to find this sense of completeness. And it has brought you the 50th step. It brought you up the step of spiritual journeying and it brought you here. Now from here, where we go? From here, I have told you, that voice asks you now, I ask you, that which brought you here, this one will leave you now. If this voice and this urge leaves, you are still here. The mind might feel, how disappointing. I was expecting trumpets from heaven. Dun, 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 if I were to see the self. But see, like I ask you, there's a silence here that is not subject to change. There's a peace. It has always been with you. Even when you're in the notion of the seeker searching, it was always stably here. And now you come, the 50th step you've taken, and you're here. And someone says, now what? And it says, there's no now what. Don't touch this I want it now. Just observe it as another sensation now. Or is it still beating? No, you're not giving it to me, Mooji. I want it. You're not answering my question. You're not giving. I want it. Please, don't delay. Is that voice still pounding in your head?
No.
No. What is here?
Silence. Silence.
Silence is there. Is this a disappointing discovery?
No.
No. Stay with this, be one with this. It's not a big book of knowledge or full of divine experiences. They may come soon. But right now, simply be one. Even more than saying be one, drop one and drop be. Be instructionless. Watch your eyes perceiving. Watch the sounds being perceived. Watch the light. Listen to the voices speaking. Listen to the listening. Observe the speaking happening out of this body. Move in your own natural flow. And see if you can step out of this. See if you can step out of this. And don't talk about it with anybody. Not yet. Keep quiet. You may feel to be alone, to sit by yourself and marinate in this inner presence. Just be one with it, just be here. Don't hold on to any notions, any concept at all, not even the sense I. And so one may notice looking is happening, perceiving is happening, but there's no record taking. Just a noticing, even of noticing. Don't listen to your mind. Not now. You will experience your sense, a sense like yourself as infinite space, in which through the senses are brought, so many sensations may come, but there's nothing for you to do with them. If the body needs to move, it will move spontaneously. It will move in harmony with the cosmic vibration. You will feel this, you will just simply know. I don't want to tell you too much about this. I want you to discover for yourself. And if you wish, you may come and give some feedback. Those of you in whom that seeing is being unveiled, you may give some feedback. And you will know whether there is more to go or not. And who is there to go more. This is not a denial of life. It is not a suppressing of life. In fact, it liberates life to be as it is and to be perceived in the pure mind. The mind will not easily give up. It will come to see if there's any stray business. What about that? But you're not feeling like this, are you? How much time you have for him?
now thoughts like they try to arise, but they do not bother me. It's like...
Yes. When you have no time for the psychological voice of the mind, it has no future. It's finished. Very good.
May I touch your feet?
As you wish. What is your wife's name?
Sanghamitra Mukherjee. Sanghamitra Mukherjee.
Sangamita.
Sanghamitra.
Sangamitra. Nice name.
One who want to unite everybody.
One who unites everyone. Beautiful name. Sangamita. Thanks to her. I'm very happy.
I want to leave my head at your feet.
Yes.
And my heart.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Good, good. Someone coming. Somebody coming today now?
तेरो नाम साचा नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम राम 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 जय जय राम 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 तेरो ध्यान देवे ज्ञान तेरो ध्यान देवे ज्ञान कर दे दूर जन्म जन्म का ज्ञान कर दे दूर जन्म जन्म का ज्ञान तेरो नाम साचा नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम राम 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 जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम तू ही दाता तू विधाता तू ही दाता तू विधाता हो अटूट तेरा मेरा नाता राम हो अटूट तेरा मेरा नाता राम तेरो नाम साचा नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम राम 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 जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम हर पल सिमरे जो राम नाम हर पल सिमरे जो राम नाम राम 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 जय जय राम जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम जय जय राम हर पल सिमरे जो राम नाम कर दे मुक्त जन्म मरण से उनको राम कर दे मुक्त जन्म मरण से उनको राम नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम तेरो नाम साचा नाम राम 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 जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम 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 जय जय राम 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 जय जय